because the atmosphere is there. It's ripe for it. There's a circulation that's showing up south of Page, and it's moving right in your direction. So we also have, with the confirmed rotation in Sequoyah County, in the severe thunderstorm warning that's in Sequoyah County, this has a tornado possible tag with it too. So it's not a tornado warning, but it's a tornado possible with that severe thunderstorm warning. And so what is the latest on that information on that warning?
Yes, we're also getting a report, Dan, in Sequoyah County with this same thunderstorm that there was a wind gust of 65 miles per hour that reported at 6:13 p.m., so just a little bit earlier. But there was broken trees, debris on I-40, ditches flooded with water overflowing onto the roadways. So this storm is actually producing a little bit of damage just a moment ago.
I can believe it. And it looks like whenever it's elongated like this and kind of north-south oriented, that tells you right there that this is going to have some pretty strong wind potential. In fact, you can see that right there. Now, we want to break this down for you a little bit more easier to understand. You know, we always put these images on here because it helps us kind of dissect the storm and see what's going on. But we want to go back to that storm that has that tornado possible tag. So there's radar indicated, and it looks like maybe that was dropped in terms of the tornado possible, but still definitely a circulation. So radar indicated, you have 60-mile-an-hour winds. We've already had that report of 60-mile-an-hour winds with that storm, so definitely something to watch. So the River Valley is getting the brunt of this storm activity. We still have some rain that's coming into the northwest Arkansas area, flash flood warning as well until 9:15. So we're getting close to 6:30. We have a lot of storms in northwest Arkansas. None of them are severe, but we have that area and that one isolated supercell that will really tap into the tornado potential, especially during the evening hours as those low-level winds start to kick up. In fact, I want to show you this real quick. As we take a look at this area, you're going to see here's this tornado potential. Now remember, this storm is located right in the southern part of Leflore County. Look at the tornado risk, high. And you can see that hatched area as well. That's right in the vicinity of where that storm is. And then as it moves northeast, it drops off, but it doesn't drop off very much. It's still medium. And remember, these lines don't exactly tell you where the tornado potential will be. It's kind of like a guide's or reference, if you will. It's kind of like something you can use to give you guidance. But it's not necessarily, the tornadoes aren't going to follow these lines. They're going to follow these areas. But it just gives you an idea that the potential is a little greater farther south. So just kind of wanted to give you an idea for that storm. Okay, back to that tornado warning. It goes until 7 o'clock. We're at 6:27. Also severe thunderstorm warning as well for a storm that's to the north of that. We have reports of power outages. We have reports of winds up in excess of 60 miles an hour on I-40 west of Fort Smith. So this is going to be moving into the Fort Smith area. So make sure that you are aware of this storm moving in. In fact, why don't we take a look here at one of our WeatherBug Network cameras in the Fort Smith area, right on top of the public library. It's a great view, and we'll go ahead and we'll bring that up right now. So here is the public library from Fort Smith. Very dark, very ominous. Storms rolling in. Look at those low clouds. Man, those clouds are just, as Josh mentioned, scraping the ground, extremely low. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit so we can kind of get a little bit of a view. And this is that storm that's approaching Fort Smith.
By the way, Haynes Nelson, according to Mega Doppler, is near that storm in Fort Smith.
Okay.
He's just to the east of that strong winds right now. So maybe we'll try to get in contact with him, see what he's seeing.
You can't see anything. You got rain, Josh. Yeah. I mean, look at this. You got rain, and then you got the clouds that are really low, almost below the tree line. You can see how they're below the tree line, so you can't even see this lowering until it might be right on top of you. So, but this is just going to be, at the moment, damaging wind potential. So it's not necessarily tornado potential at the moment, but remember, it could increase dramatically. So that's something that could rapidly change in a matter of minutes. All right. And there's that line that's coming in. So here's what I want to do, Josh. I want you on WeatherBug. Let's bring up that Fort Smith camera. And what we'll do here is actually on the Prod PC. Let's bring up the Prod PC, and we'll bring up the Fort Smith camera on our WeatherBug Network camera. And we'll just keep that rolling. So we can get a view of the radar. We can get a view of the storm at the same time. And so that would be a good idea to do, especially as this storm rolls in. And you have a new track on Weather One. As we're doing that, let's do another track on this tornado warning that is starting to ramp up again.
Yes, right now. So let's do a new track on that for this tornado warning. 6:40 p.m. Page. So it's going over Page right now. If you're in Page, you need to already be in your tornado shelter at this current time. Tornado warning right now for that area. 6:52 p.m. Black Fork. That storm is racing to the northeast towards you, so you need to also be taking your tornado precautions right now. 6:56 p.m. Sugar Creek. 7:03 Bates. And then we're talking about a little bit further down the line, 7:28 Dayton and 7:40 Washburn also need to watch this storm right now as it intensifies on radar right now. But Dan, it almost looks like there is kind of two areas of rotation beginning to show up on this storm right now.
Yeah.
One to the south of Page and one just to the west of Black Fork.
That would be right in the middle of, like you mentioned, that one that's south of Heavener. Definitely something to watch, an area to watch. But that would be a rain-wrapped area. So we're going to bring up this WeatherBug Network camera out of Fort Smith if we can here and take a look at it. So, is that the one right there? Okay. So,
Library.
Okay. Close that down, and that should help it load, and then we'll be able to bring that up. So very, very heavy rain coming down in the Fort Smith area right now, and very, very, very heavy rain along with some gusty winds as well. So once we get that camera up, go ahead and you got that zoomed in on Weather One, so we can take a look at that. Yeah, so we've got the camera up, okay, on weather. You can see that rain coming down in the river valley. Very, very heavy rain. Visibility near zero, and that's not even the heavy part of the storm yet. So we're starting to get the heavier part of the storm. Fort Smith Public Library on Rogers Avenue, just southeast of downtown Fort Smith. So it's right on the leading edge of the storm. In fact, you can see the lightning and still some darkening clouds that are off in the distance on that WeatherBug Network camera. So that's the intenser storms. There was more instability, there was more humidity, and there's that lightning too as well. Now, I don't know about you, but wouldn't be a great idea to be outdoors or encounter the lightning and thunderstorm activity. A lot of rain. I don't know how those football games are going right now, but I can't imagine really well.
Not well.
No. So there was a tornado warning still going.
Still going.
Until 7 o'clock. And we don't have any new information about it, but we'll continue to watch it. We got our WeatherBug Network camera from the Fort Smith Public Library, and severe thunderstorm warning until 7 o'clock as well. So a lot going on with these storms. Northwest Arkansas currently is not experiencing any type of severe weather, but definitely some heavy rain at times kind of popping up here and there. But the back edge of the storm is beginning to move out. So it does appear, Josh, and I think you would agree with us, but the River Valley was the focus with this storm.
Absolutely. Didn't have any of that convection initially that moved out ahead of those stronger storms that were in Texas, and also a lot more instability to work with, as well as a little bit more wind shear right now. But it looks like Northwest Arkansas is dodging the bullet right now.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. A good sign there, too. But 4, 5, 6 hours in advance before the storms pop, you can't let your guard down anywhere. But now it's starting to wind down a little bit in Northwest Arkansas, and that is good news. So we'll continue to watch it, and hopefully these warnings can drop off quick so we can return you back to programming. And if we do see a drop of the tornado warnings, we'll continue our weather coverage on Facebook Live and on KNWA.com as we stream, but still give you the information. And then if something turns out that a warning pops up again, that we'll continue to go on and let you know about it on television as well. But I know you guys want to watch your programming. I know Dateline's on tonight. It's a new one. My wife and I love Dateline. That's one of our favorite shows. And so we'll do our best not to cover up anything and to cover these storms with the safety of the people that are in the path. And hopefully everything weakens and dies out. But this does go until 7 o'clock, so we can't drop off of this, especially with the way that the circulations have been ramping up and cycling. Sometimes they strengthen, sometimes they weaken. We all got to watch that from each radar scan, honestly.
Dan, we need to keep an eye on Heavener right now. Looks like that rotation's maybe getting a little bit stronger there.
For the one that's north of just to the west of Big Cedar, right?
Yes, just to the northwest of Black Fork right
Black
now,
Fork,
near
yeah.
Heavener. It's
Yeah.
right on top of Heavener right now.
Okay, let's look at that. Let's check out our mega Doppler source, and we'll look at that. Yeah, there is that circulation, like you mentioned. Let's go ahead and pan up just a little bit because we got our WeatherBug Network camera just to give people a view of what it looks like. So it doesn't look like a circulation currently showing up on, what is that product?
That's a PTDS.
Oh yeah, that's not going to show up on that. Let's do a 3 here where we look at reflectivity and velocity. And so there's that area of rotation. Isolated cell, like you said, circulation popping up near Heavener. That's an area where the tornado warning's still in effect, northwest of Black Fork, north of Page, and this is going to be moving into the Hartford area here shortly. So a new storm track on that because that's a new area of circulation that we'll continue to need to monitor. So a lot of storms happening. They're all in the river valley, and we do have tornado warnings in our weather coverage area. So I want to zoom in on that Heavener storm. And like you said, TVS, tornado vortex signature popping up. There it is. That's starting to show up a little more. Yeah, Heavener, you need to be taking your shelter. As Josh eloquently mentioned, that's a strong circulation. That really increased dramatically.
Rapid intensification.
Look at how tight that is, too.
Yes.
So if we look at the velocity, there you can see it. The normalized rotation, all those ingredients showing up. So just to the north, let's do some roads plotting. And here's the new radar image as it just comes out.
Ooh.
This is going to produce, folks. This is. In fact, it might already be in the process of doing that. So we're going to be able to see that with our tornado detection. So Heavener schools, this is just east of you. And it just narrowly missed Heavener. Now keep in mind, too, sometimes the radar doesn't show exactly where the tornado is. This is where the mesocyclone is. But it gives you an idea within the vicinity of where the storm is. Now, I imagine the tornado could be just a little bit south of there because of the amount of shear and the radar.
There it is.
Tornado confirmed.
Yep.
That's happening. That's happening right now, folks. So we have a tornado on the ground just to the east of Heavener. This will become a confirmed tornado. We can tell you in advance before it becomes confirmed officially on the warning. And so we're going to zoom out. That is no doubt an area of tornado debris.
And NWS chat is saying that it looks like a tornado is beginning to form just to the southeast of Heavener.
Okay.
So probably going to see that confirmed tornado very, very soon.
Yeah. And what that means is the radar is indicating debris. And we went through this before, but if you're just joining the stream or you've been watching it the whole time, whenever this tornado detection pops up, it shows you that there is, in fact, debris. And it's 100%, 95. We never want to go 100%, but 95 confidence. And it matches up a lot of other things, not just the correlation coefficient. In fact, look at the higher reflectivity. I think we might even be seeing a little bit of a debris signature on the reflectivity. So, and look at this too.
Yeah.
Got a new product too. See the line underneath? That represents a tornado on the ground. So this is a TVS with likely a tornado doing damage. So if you're just joining us, this is why we don't drop off severe weather coverage, folks. This is why we can't. It's a service that we provide for people, and look at how fast that happened. So we need to zoom in. We need to get hyper-local on this. Northwest Arkansas, we're just experiencing storms. This is the worst of the storm. Benson Lane, please, right now, get to your safe place. If we zoom out a little bit more, let's put some more roads on there and give you an idea about 10, 15 minutes ahead where you're going to be. So let's go just a little bit north of Benson Lane. How about Royal Mound? So it looks like 78,000 block of Royal Mound, just a little south of that. Let's see what areas we've got.
Somebody's not pulling up.
Intense circulation. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go ahead and clear them off. And let's go back to the velocity image. And we'll take a look. Now there it is. A very, very tight couplet. This is, folks, a tornado.
Yep, and we just got that from the National Weather
Not only
Service.
that, but a considerable tornado.
Yep, it says a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 3 miles northeast of Heavener, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So we have a large tornado on the ground right now, Dan.
And that's what we were saying.
Yep.
And man, that tornado detection, it really works, folks.
It does.
So let's zoom back out. Let's take a look at this circulation. So see the warning, how it has a different appearance? That different appearance is another thing why we've been staying up till all the hours in the morning to get ready for this type of severe weather event. And you can see that this means a considerable tornado. So large and dangerous. And this is going to be moving towards the Hartford area, southeast of Monroe. So now at this point, you're going to start seeing more power outages. You're going to start seeing more reports of damage because now we got a confirmed tornado as it's moving northeast. And so let's do a track on this now that we know that this is popping up. And we want to make sure that we've got this going just to the south of Monroe. So Hartford, West Hartford, 649, 10 minutes, folks. See the white outline? That means a considerable tornado. So all of those ingredients showing up with this storm. So it's intense storm, severe thunderstorm warning as well. But let's zoom in just a little bit more if we can, Josh, on this, just so we get that severe thunderstorm warning and get the tornado warning information on there. Yeah, just go in a little bit more because we're on that. There you go, right there. That'll be perfect. Tornado warning observed. The threat is considerable. So this is a strong tornado. No, it's not possible. It is a tornado.
Strong tornado.
Yeah, and you can see 1-inch hail as well. So we got a considerable threat for an observed tornado. So we have a tornado, no doubt, on the ground. We're going to go back to the new radar image as we get it. And in fact, we just got it on Mega Doppler. So on Weather 2, here's the circulation, very, very tight circulation. I want you to do this, Josh, because we just did that track, and we let people know in Hartford and West Hartford you have about 10 minutes before this storm is headed your way. That means get to your safe place now. If you're new to this area or you don't know about severe weather, and let's face it, we haven't had a severe weather event like this in a long time, for several months. This is what you need to do. Remember to duck. This is an acronym that I tell the kids, I tell high school kids, I even teach adults. Downstairs, under something, center of the house, keep away from windows. This is what you need to do to get to your safe place. So get as low as you possibly can. If you can get underground, that's the best. Under something, pillows, blankets, a mattress, anything that you can to protect yourself from debris flying around, including a helmet, putting a helmet on. We love to see those photos of people sending in photos of them wearing their helmets. Center of your building, center of your house. It is the outside walls that are going to come down first. Keep away from windows. You don't want to worry about opening those. Back in the days, told you equalize pressure. That's a bad idea. It wastes time. And on top of that, it makes your house more susceptible to damage if, in fact, you do have those windows open. And chances are, if a tornado's hitting it, it'll blow out the windows and you'll be near it and the glass could injure you. So let's go back to a new image, new radar. And so now Josh is plotting more roads. So now we got Monroe, Poto Mountain, you got Trussell Ford, you got Old Monroe Highway, and it looks like moving just to the north here, West Hartford, like we mentioned. It might be passing right in between Monroe and West Hartford. Let's zoom out and do a loop on this, and let's see which way this is exactly headed, because sometimes it can also right turn. So let's go ahead and we'll put a loop. Now watch how fast this circulation ramped up. There it is. Looks like it could be right in its mature stage. So it looks like it's going to be passing in between Monroe and Hartford as it moves to the northeast. And it's moving fast,
It's moving very fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're near these areas right now, you need to be in your tornado shelter now.
I know it might seem quiet, and it might be eerily quiet. Sometimes it gets dead quiet right before a tornado. But let's go back to that tornado detection and see if we've got anything on the ground as we stop the radar loop. And let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that. So we'll stop the radar loop at the very last image. And as it moves to the northeast, let's go ahead and we'll see if we still have debris. Big area of debris. Look at that. And this is probably leaves. Keep in mind, we have the leaves that are flying off the trees left and right like crazy. This is especially bringing up, this tornado is probably picking up leaves and debris. And notice how it's right over a very rural area south of Monroe. Let's zoom in on that here if we can real quick. And we'll take a look at that. This is that tornado detection. Clearly a big area of debris. And so we do have a confirmed tornado. Here's the addresses that you need to be focused on. This is about to come over the Ouachita Mountains and drop down in the valley. You have 14,000. If you live between the 14,000 and 14,100 block of Poto Mountain Road, you need to be getting to your safe place now. Also, Old Monroe, you have Trussell Ford. Trussell Ford could be right directly in the main path of this storm. Dunn Hill Road. if you're hearing these roads, folks, and you're taking shelter, and now we're just about ready to get this to cross over Poda Mountain. Now, we don't have any storm spotters in this area, do we?
We do not.
Yeah, it's just tough to get in there.
This is a very tough area to chase.
Absolutely. But maybe Hayes Nelson can get on it. He was in the River Valley on that Sequoia County storm. Wow, that storm really increased and rapidly intensified. Let's look at the normalized rotation. It's showing up south of Monroe. And really, you look at this, and it's not super intense, but then you look at the velocity image, and it's there. And so now we know that there's debris that's being lofted within this storm. So there's the reflectivity image. We got a considerable tornado threat. We zoom out just a little bit wider. We do have another storm, though, that's starting to show up, too. Let's see if there's any type of rotation on that. Looks like it went through the Fort Smith area, and I don't know if we have any more reports of power outages or any additional information on that. We'll continue to watch that and see that cell as well. But,
NWS chat confirming, by the way, with that tornado, the radar data is supportive of a very strong to significant tornado with that storm near Heavener.
Yeah. Just to the northeast of Heavener. Heavener is not in the path of this storm.
Yes.
But as you mentioned, it did mention that in the warning. I understand what you meant, but I just wanted to make sure everybody's clear that Heavener, it's already through, but boy, did that come close. It was just east of Heavener when it touched down. So there will no doubt be a tornado track, a damage track. So if you're listening, newsroom, we might want to send Macy down there. But I would wait just a little bit because the storm is headed northeast and it's going to be crossing as you can see, 540 in areas just to the south of Fort Smith. So this storm going to be coming through Hartford. Let's go ahead and let's do another storm track on this if we can. And we want to do that on Weather One. But we can also bring up the cell tracks. Let's see how well that does too, if you can, Josh, in the meantime on Mega Doppler. But there's a severe thunderstorm and tornado warning on top of each other, on top of a flash flood warning. This cell is serious. Till 7 o'clock, considerable and observed tornado. What we mean by considerable is that's just a higher end tornado warning. Now, the highest end is a tornado emergency. That's where you have a large, possibly potentially violent tornado. We won't know until the damage survey is done, so we can't say exactly what the strength of the tornado is. But you have a potentially strong to violent tornado that is moving into a populated area, and loss of life will be possible. That's a tornado emergency. We're just under that with a tornado considerable. So it shows you it's a significant storm, no doubt, and something to watch for sure.
I will say there is some good news. The latest
it is starting to weaken,
starting to weaken considerably, but still, it could potentially still be on the ground.
So you have a considerable threat for a tornado, and then you have considerably weakening as well as we look at Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. And let's go back to, if we can, Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. There's that tornado detection still showing up. Now, it might drop off on the next image. Now, remember, the tornado can lift, and the debris is still lofted in the air. So that's one thing you got to remember is that you can see the circulation weaken. My guess is it's probably not on the ground anymore. But then we look at the tornado debris and you still see it in the air. So it's still being lofted. But remember, this storm can cycle. Yeah, look at that. Large area of what we call a CC drop. So you can see that kind of spreading out. So this is an example of, okay, this is a perfect example. Like when you spin something really fast, it's going to stay closer into the center. And then when you kind of, let that go, it's going to start spreading out. So that's exactly what's happening. I think this tornado is lifted, and we're starting to see the debris spread out. That's a signature that we're seeing. Because, Josh, if we go back a little bit more in time, you'll see almost a perfect circle right there. So there's the tornado that's on the ground, the debris signature. That's clear. That's very clear. Let's go back just a little bit more. And let's see. Right there, it's not as clear. Let's go to the tornado detection and see. Go back one. And then we'll go to the tornado detection. Yeah, it doesn't show up. Okay, so that storm, it popped up immediately with that tornado debris signature. All right, so that's moving northeast. There it is, starting to lift. Still a tornado warning goes until 7 o'clock. We'll continue to see that. There's that area of rotation. Now it's going to be crossing the highway east of Monroe and Hartford. And so we'll go ahead and plot some more streets on here, some of the main streets. Zoom in just a little bit more and take a look here north of Trestle Ford. Let's go ahead, Old Monroe Highway Yeah, still on the ground. Either that, still debris lofted in the air. It might not be on the ground.
State Highway 96.
State Highway 96. So crossing State Highway 96. Another thing too is you'll be able to see by looking at the damage. You'll be able to see the power outages, and those numbers will clearly start spiking up quite a bit with the storm. Apex. It's going to be west of you. As we mentioned, it's going to be West Hartford, but I think it even misses West Hartford. It's just a little bit west of West Hartford. So some of the areas that are going to be impacted by this potential tornado warning, you can see on the screen right now, and those are areas we're going to watch for sure. So if you're watching our severe weather coverage, we've been covering these storms ever since about 4:30, 5 o'clock as they moved in. And Northwest Arkansas had a few storms, dodged a bullet. The rotation was starting to ramp up, but we just didn't have the low-level instability. That's not the case, though, in the River Valley. So let's see if we're having a new circulation, and we might be able to, if this warning drops off and the lift kind of weakens a little bit and the rotation weakens, maybe we can drop off and continue our coverage on severe weather with Facebook Live and also with KNWA.com. So there's the circulation. It's not as tight, not as strong. You see the bright reds moving away from the radar, green colors moving towards, but that is your area of rotation. Next image, if it doesn't ramp up, I'm imagining that this tornado has indeed lifted. But it was strong enough to take debris and loft it. By the way, that radar beam probably, about 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet above the ground?
Actually, more like 1,500, 2,000 feet.
Okay, so a little lower.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that makes, I guess it's a little closer to SRX than what it was before. Props to the National Weather Service out of Tulsa, too, because they, last week, Monday, did an upgrade to the radar in Fort Smith. And they got it back online even before the 10 days that was supposed to happen, how long it was supposed to take. And they got it back online earlier this week. So definitely a good thing to do to get that back online for sure, because that's what our source, that's what our eyes are for this storm. All right, back to our track. Josh, another storm track on this. We got new radar information as it's moving northeast, and we'll continue to watch what's going on. So weather one, give us a little bit of a storm track.
Yep, so it's right now on top of West Hartford and Hartford, but at 7:02 p.m., just to the northeast of Hartford, near Mansfield. That's where the storm will be in about 5 to 10 minutes. So that tornado, if it's still on the ground, imminent for Mansfield. 7:10 p.m., Greenwood, Arkansas. As it moves across the border, we'll definitely see Greenwood potentially be impacted by this storm in about 20 minutes. So if you're near Greenwood, even though the storm may be weakening just a little bit right now, it could re-strengthen again very quickly. We've seen it happen multiple times throughout the course of the afternoon. So Greenwood, Arkansas, you need to start preparing. Bloomer at 7:20 p.m. as well, just to the northeast of Greenwood, needs to start making those preparation plans. 7:25, Charleston, you need to also be prepared as this storm is going to arrive in about 20 to 30 minutes. And then at 7:46 p.m., maybe a little bit further down the line, near Ozark, Arkansas, as well as 7:51 p.m. near Coal Hill. So storm on a bit of a weakening trend right now, but as we've seen multiple times, Dan, this storm has intensified and then maybe lifted a little bit, intensified once again. So those areas that are just to the northeast, like Branch or Ozark or Coal Hill, need to be prepared within about 45 minutes for this storm to arrive.
I just want to let you know, while you were doing that, and I appreciate that track, I just wanted to kind of look at some of the other cells in northwest Arkansas. Now we're starting to see that area of heavy rain. Now this cell doesn't look like much, but when we look at the velocity image, it's starting to show up with maybe some stronger gusty winds, and then also a little bit of a area that we'll need to watch. So let's check this out on our WeatherBug Network camera, and we're going to go from the west on Harbor High School, and this will give us a view. And of course it's at night, but we might be able to see. So we're panned to the northwest a little bit, which would be a perfect location to see if there's any type of lowering with this cell. So I'm going to move this camera, and we're going to point it to the west just a little bit. We got all these WeatherBug Network cameras, which are our eyes that are out in the field, along with our storm spotters. It's a little bit of a tricky system to storm chase, obviously, and to spot storms. But let me go ahead and pan this to the west, and we'll take a look here at what we can see in terms of visibility. There's just not much, but hey, the circulation potential is still there. So let's continue to watch this. Now we'll be able to kind of maybe see a little bit of the city lights lowering, kind of highlighting potential lowering. It does look like that's pretty low to the ground right there.
Yeah, and this is around the time, too, even though maybe that instability got tapped into a little bit early across northwest Arkansas. Now we got that low-level jet kicking in, as well as that significant wind shear as well. We have very, very high wind shear over our area.
Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna be able to bounce off of this camera here for now, but we can bring it up on Prop PC so we can have a good view of this storm that's moving in. Look at how fast those clouds are moving. So let's go back to, if we can, on Mega Doppler. There's that area of circulation that we'll need to watch. Now we got new flash flood warnings too that are being issued. So on the bottom right of your screen, whether it would be your tablet, your device, your TV, we've got a look at that storm that's coming in. And then there's the area of rotation. Now along the leading edge of this, I know it doesn't look like much, but that could ramp up and form what's known as a QLCS tornado. The environment's there. Everything's in place, folks, so that's why we just can't let our guard down with the amount of shear that is in place. And I saw you looking at the tornado detection. That's not a bad idea, Josh, especially with this type of system.
It's a very useful product. It's amazing.
It sure is. Now, hopefully we don't see that, and it'll be too late to let people know about a potential circulation, but okay, so this might be getting a new severe thunderstorm. I don't know exactly where this is being issued.
Right now, it's only in a significant weather statement, so for strong thunderstorms, this particular storm is. But that may be the new severe thunderstorm warning, and that is a new severe thunderstorm warning for Carroll, Crawford, Franklin, Madison, and Washington County until 7:45 p.m. No tornado possible tag on that, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and no hail, no significant hail at this time.
All right. Well, we'll continue to watch this line as it moves in. Something to watch. You can kind of see how it's bowing out right there at the leading edge. And this could just be gusty winds. Not everything produces a QLCS tornado, but this is the type of cell that you do have to watch just a little bit more. So there's that maybe a little bit of a surge, if you will, a little bit of surge of wind. So some strong winds coming to the west side of Tawnytown here shortly. Be ready for that as we zoom in on this and take a look. So, in fact, we've got that WeatherBug Network camera. We'll be able to know. We do have somewhat of a view there as it's moving in. I also want to look at the Harbor High School. That is a Harbor High School WeatherBug Network camera. I was thinking about the Arkansas Children's Northwest camera, too, so we can get a little bit more of a northwest view. So, take us through on weather. Yeah, look at that circulation starting to increase just a little bit more, Josh.
It is.
I'll watch
it closely.
Yep. Go ahead and go back to Weather 1 and show us that new severe thunderstorm warning real quick.
Yeah, let me pull that up right now for northwest Arkansas. And there it is right there.
Okay.
Severe thunderstorm warning. That's in effect for Crawford, Franklin, Madison, Washington counties at this current time. And that expires at 7:45 p.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds. No tornado possible tag at this time. But, Dan, as you were mentioning, maybe a little bit more strengthening right now from this storm.
Yeah, you can really see the winds just cranking up with this storm, and these bases of the storms are extremely low. And so that basically means, and it looks like a new tornado warning just got issued, and so we'll go to that. We got Logan County under a tornado warning, so a new warning that's being issued could be because the old warning's expiring here at 7 o'clock. So let's take a look at that here and see what we've got with that new tornado warning that's developing. So there it is. I got it popped up on here on Weather 2. New tornado warning goes until 7:45. So maybe this storm right turning a little bit, huh? That's interesting.
It does appear it's doing that.
So if it is right turning, that's going to be pretty favorable for tornado potential. I mean, the storm's already favorable for tornado potential. Look at the line here as we zoom out. Just a little bit of a wider view. So we've got severe thunderstorm warning. Wouldn't doubt if that storm becomes severe warned as well as the energy's moving in. If we can, let's keep up that WeatherBug Network camera on the bottom right just to get an idea. Okay, yeah, let's take Arkansas Children's Northwest. So we got a little bit of a wider view. Man, that ground, that cloud is very low to the ground. So we'll continue to watch that.
Another tornado warning?
New one that's issued. This is going until 7:45. Oh, brother. So we got more storms. Let's kind of zoom in on this. So there's the new tornado warning. Goes until 7:45. Radar indicated. we still have that considerable tornado warning, and then this is radar indicated. So this is dropping down just a little bit. See at the top, we got this banner to kind of, sometimes it can be a little bit of a confusion in terms of the communication with, I thought a tornado warning is a tornado warning. Yes, but, some storms are even stronger tornadoes. And so you've got the tornado warning, which is radar indicated, which means that it's not producing a tornado yet, but it could very soon. You've also got the confirmed tornado. That's when it has the black outline around it. Right now, we don't have that. Strong tornado shows that considerable tornado potential. And then if it turns pink, we don't want to see that. We never want to see that. That's a tornado emergency. That's the highest upper end of the tornado warnings that you can get.
So I think what we're seeing right now, Dan, is just some overlap between Tulsa and Little Rock right now in terms of these tornado warnings. Because I think Little Rock issued that tornado warning that's just a little bit further south. Tulsa issued that warning just a moment ago to the north.
Yep, absolutely. And it makes sense. I mean, you got those areas. Now, one of the things, let's see how we're looking at with remember, we can't lose sight of our weather cameras. So Mount Magazine, we're going to be real close to this. I'm going to see if we can see anything. New tornado warning now. Oh, yeah, there we go. On the north side. So now we got eastern Washington County.
Yep.
That's under a tornado warning for that area. And I wouldn't be surprised. Let's bring up our Weather Bug Network camera full on Weather 3. I got to look at this storm because this is also the same time when all these other storms are happening. Look at all the lightning, too. We're getting a good view of this cell. Let's bring that up if we can, Weather 3, and bring that up full. Not Weather 3, excuse me, the Prod PC. My bad. I apologize. So, yeah, we got camera and a camera. Well, you can hear the thunder, too. The energy, folks, is moving in right now. You can tell. But there's a look at that cell, and I want to get an idea for exactly where that is. But we got multiple storms. We got to track them all.
There it is.
And so we want to take a look at this here. I'm not seeing anything in particular with that. I just kind of want to see if there's any visual, any type of, inkling that something's happening with this cell. Oh.
So that tornado warning, Dan, is just to the south of Elkins right now.
Mm-hmm.
Durham, Huntsville's also in that tornado warning. Japton as well. And if I'm zooming a little bit more here.
Look at this, too.
Yeah.
Northeast of Town. This is exactly where we're looking, folks. That looks really dark and ominous. And this is an area that doesn't have any type of warning. So we need to watch this as well. Let's go to Weather 2. And there's that area of circulation that's showing up. And if we look at the, let's bring up Mega Doppler, and look at that, very strong winds on there, kind of an elongated circulation. But there's the tornado warning that was issued for the Madison County area. So let's step back, let's get a wide view of what's happening, and we're going to start off with the most significant storm in the River Valley. So Josh, we want to put the reflectivity and the velocity on at the same time, just so we can get an idea for the circulation. So, and we got to remember to check out that Weather Bug Network camera from Mount Magazine. So there it is, strong circulation showing up. It's north of Waldron. We got all sorts of circulations. Look at this. This is crazy. Let's remove all those streets on there as we've had that kind of potted up. But there's a look at that area of circulation, elongated area of circulation, but there is so much going on there, folks. Just take your tornado precautions. If you're in Sebastian County, Logan County, Northern Scott County, this is you can see a lot of activity right there. Very, very strong circulation. And in fact, that's tightening up quite a bit, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so I want to walk you through all those warnings. So tornado warnings, as we mentioned, till 7:45, till 7:30. There's a circulation. There's another circulation. Those two are moving northeast. Washburn, take your tornado precautions immediately. Zoom out. Let's go back up to the north. Let's look at the new tornado warning that's been issued. This is for southeastern Washington County, western Madison County. There's that area of circulation. QLCS tornado potential located right there. Third, we got this system that's northwest of Springdale on the leading edge. And let's look at the normalized rotation on that. That is really bright colors, folks, where you're seeing some strong circulation. Now, we've got, if you're in the producer booth, guys, bring up the iDrive Arkansas cameras right near Springdale and right near exit 72. 72, 73, we'll be able to see this come through and see how heavy the rain is. And we can bring that up on the Prod PC. So we can bring up some of the iDrive Arkansas cameras, which is another view of this storm coming in. And look at this circulation compared to the actual tornado warning. It's actually stronger, but it is elongated. I know that's something that we got to watch. So let's bring up, and here you can see that on the Prod PC. If we bring up the Prod PC full, you can see the heavy rain coming down. So it's just been raining nonstop since about 4 o'clock, 4:30. Strong thunderstorms rolling through, and we're not seeing any type of, it's kind of tough to see in terms of the wind. Let's go back to, if we can, our WeatherBug network camera, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this up on Weather 2. We want to look at Arkansas Children's Northwest again. I've got to move the camera a little bit to the north. Can't see anything in terms of visibility on that. And so we've got a new flood advisory, too, that was just issued for Benton County because of these storms and the heavy rain that they're producing. So it looks like new, let's see here. We got more stuff going on. So I'm taking that WeatherBug network camera from Arkansas Children's Northwest. Let me get the menu off of there. Just can't see anything, folks. The visibility, it's trash. It's just not good. All right. But we don't, that's right. We got the visibility on the radar. We can see that as well. Okay, Josh, what do we got?
So, Dan, we need to watch this area of rotation near Mansfield right now. This is a strong area of rotation showing up once again right now over Mansfield.
Okay.
Yep. And we just got word it's a confirmed tornado.
All right, they bring up the
chat.
TDS. Let's see, tornado detection.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's popping up. So here it goes. Next radar image, you're going to be able to see that.
Oh, Dan, actually, tornado warning observed for Madison and Washington County as well as Franklin and Sebastian County. So both of those tornado warnings are now observed.
All right, so we have two tornadoes on the ground at the same time, two different storms. Folks, what we're going to have to do is in the control room, we got to do weather 1, weather 2. So we got this one. Let's bring up just one panel. And we want to do, on this one, I'm going to do a storm track. I'm going to draw this up for you guys. And on weather 1, I want you to do a storm track on the one in Madison County. Okay, guys?
Yep.
All right. So there's a confirmed tornado that's moving towards Huntsville area. We got our WeatherBug camera at Huntsville that we can check out. We got this storm that's just to the south of Greenwood. I'm going to do a track on this as it moves to the northeast from Mansfield. Woo, that was a rumble of thunder.
Yeah, big time.
Energy is coming in, folks. This is the storm that we were talking about, and this is why we mentioned it so diligently, if you will, and adamant too, about trying to hold outdoor events or any type of things going on. So Boonville 728, Chisholmville 731. Cawthron 733, Magazine 738, Carbon City 746. This is where it's headed as it moves northeast. It's kind of taking a little more of a right turn too. So you need to be taking your tornado precaution. Let's see if this storm kind of sucked up the moisture and we can see, in fact, maybe from our WeatherBug network camera, what's going on with this cell. So let me go ahead and remove that storm track. I want to go ahead and bring up the WeatherBug. And then on weather 1, we need that track for the other tornado warning.
Yep, we got that up.
All right. Mount Magazine cleared out. So if there's anything with this storm, with the lightning, we should be able to see it. And is that, oh yeah, very low cloud base. I just saw it on our WeatherBug network camera. Okay, so we need, okay, guys, we need to bring up that track on weather 1 because we have a confirmed tornado. Let's go ahead and weather 1 and weather 2.
Let's pull that up on there. Right now, according to that track, 7:10 p.m. Durham. So in 3 minutes right now, that is imminent right now for the area of Durham. 7:14 Thorny. You got about 5 minutes remaining right now until this tornado is on top of you. It's on the ground right now. You need to take shelter immediately. 7:16 p.m. Wesley. That is about 10 to 12 minutes away from you, so you need to take your tornado precautions. 7:27 Huntsville. You need to be in your tornado shelters right now. This storm is moving very, very fast, and it'll be on top of you in about 10 to 15 minutes. We're also looking at 7:43, just a little bit to the northwest near Rock House. You need to be taking your tornado precautions at this current time with this cell. But Right now, Durham, Thorny, Wesley, and Huntsville, you need to be in your tornado shelters right now as this storm is right on top of you. And yes, there is a tornado on the ground, according to the National Weather Service.
Yeah, yeah. And are we seeing the debris signature?
So let me.
No, that's that storm. There's two storms at the same time.
Yep.
So we almost need to bounce back and forth. Yeah, not
seeing it
not on there, but the beam is a little bit higher. The radar beam's a little higher. So let's look at this here. Oh yeah, a little bit right there showing up. It's a little bit of a debris signature. Yep, sure looks like it.
Definitely was on the ground there.
So that is a cell. So let's go to weather 2. I'm going to bring this up on weather 2. We don't have this up on any source. So I was looking. Did you see that lightning, by the way, that showed up? Okay, so let's bring us up in the weather lab here. Josh and I, along with Zach Gilday, we've got Anna Darling as well at the news desk. Anna, are you getting more reports of power outages? Just give me a thumbs up if you want to. Okay, she's got a little more information, and we're going to go to her in just a second. First of all, though, we got to cover these tornado warnings. So this tornado warning goes until 7:45 that you see on the screen. This is including western Madison County, which, by the way, our WeatherBug network camera, Zach from Huntsville. Let's do that. Let's point that southwest because this is going to give us an amazing view of this storm rolling in. So bring up the Huntsville WeatherBug network camera and point it to the southwest, if you will. All right, so we're taking a look here. Oh, tornado emergency in McCurtain. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we just saw that. Remember we were talking about the upper echelon of tornado warnings? Mm-hmm. There it is, folks. So tornado emergency for areas of McCurtain County, but that is going to be missing us. That's going to be going south. So 2 tornado warnings at the same time with confirmed tornadoes on the ground. Okay, Anna Darling, go ahead and give us some information on some of the new reports that you got.
Yeah, I just heard we are at about 424 power outages in Washington County. So that storm is definitely hitting. I know we've been focusing a lot on the River Valley. That's where many of the storms have been heading right now. But those storms are starting to make their way up more into the northwestern Arkansas area. So, yeah, you can see here on your screen the numbers of our power outages right now. More than 121,000 customers tracked right now, 424 customers out, and a lot of those, and that includes Carroll County, Carroll Electric Cooperative. Let's see, we got all kinds of people without power right now. So, and if you're in these areas, especially in that Huntsville, those Madison County areas, you'll definitely want to be taking shelter because it sounds like those storms are coming right your way. Dan and Josh and Zach have been doing a great job tracking this. They've been on the air since, I would say 5 o'clock. And we had a brief break there at 5:30 when we had a slight lull in those those warnings, but they've been on tracking these so well. So I'm going to send it back to you guys with more on I'm sure this is still a developing situation.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. Josh, you can see this on Megadot. We got 2 areas of circulation that are ongoing right now at the same time. You got one that's north of Mansfield now that's going to be crossing just northeast of Mansfield towards Washburn as it crosses the highway. You have another area of circulation that's starting to ramp up. And if you'll notice here, they're both cyclonic circulations. You've got radar winds that are going towards the radar, away from the radar. Radar is located in Fort Smith, and there's your area of circulation number 1, along with the TVS. You got radar number 2, or circulation number 2, that is showing up north of Mansfield. That's moving northeast. And then at the same time, we've got the other storm that's tornado warned in Madison County. Look at that. That's really tightening up.
Yep.
2 areas that are tightening up. This kind of reminds me a little bit, and I don't think the tornadoes are going to be as significant, but Greensburg had 2 circulations that were ongoing at the same time as well that were very intense and impressive like these. So this is pretty wild. This shows you the atmosphere is literally spinning like a top.
Wind shear is just insane.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
And we knew it would be. We knew this system was strong. We knew the system was intense. And this is why we put the alert day on the 7-day forecast. I want to do a reflectivity because I got to see what's going on. I can see the velocity. And so we got maybe a surge in the wind on the leading edge. There's a supercell with a rotation circulation that's going to be headed towards Washburn. Now that just crossed the highway right there, just to the north of Mansfield. And so let's go ahead and plot some roads on there. Let's put that, we'll put that highway on there. We'll let you know exactly where this circulation is. So the circulation is going to be north of Crossroads. Looks like we've got potential debris.
Yep.
This could be confirmed again as it's starting to ramp up. And maybe we got new information now for a new tornado warning. Let me check it out here and see which one this is. All right, so new tornado warning now for the north side of Madison County. So here's the deal. We need to be watching our WeatherBug Network camera on on the Prod PC. Let's bring that up on Mount Magazine. This is going to have an incredible view. Again, Mount Magazine located just to the south of Corley. So this storm, as it's moving in, as we take a look here, is moving into the area. We're going to be able to see this coming in.
Wow.
There is a very good chance that we'll be able, and the lightning is going to be tremendous on this. And you're going to see the cloud base is going to be very low as well. Let's bring this up full. I want to get a good view of what this looks like as this storm's moving in, because we can see for miles with this storm, with this WeatherBug camera. So flashes of lightning, those lights that you're seeing off in the distance, that is in fact Boonville. And Boonville is just a little bit west of the storm, but in fact in the tornado warned area. That is lightning in the foreground that's lighting up the beginning of basically the base of the storm. Now the area of rotation and circulation is located just to the southwest of Boonville. And so that's one of the areas. The other area is a little bit north of Washburn, just to the north of Boonville, that's going to be tracking through areas of Sebastian County, northwest of Logan County. I'm going to step out of the way again so I don't cover up anything. Look at all the lightning, too. Very low cloud bases as well. So let's just continue to watch this. I do want to move that camera over just a smidge to the right because that's going to give us a view maybe perhaps of both circulations. So, and there's no reason to have any time lapse now. So the time lapse is shot because it's in the dark. Look at the lightning. Do you see how low that cloud to ground lightning is?
Very low.
I mean,
wow.
This is crazy. So what you're seeing here is the city of Boonville, and you're seeing this tornado-warned storm that has two circulations, very low cloud base. This is probably known as the precipitation-free base on the leading edge of the storm. All the lightning, and we might be able to see, if we see anything on the ground, it would be power outages. It looks like, too, sometimes the lights go out, but it's the cloud level, and I've learned this over time, it's the cloud level starting to obscure viewing. But we want to continue to watch this because you'll see the lights come back because the clouds move back out of view, and you start to get a little bit more of that lowering. So if there is anything on the ground, if there's any type of damage, we would be able to see it. But we do want to have the radar on at the same time so you're able to see this as well as what's happening on the radar. But let's do that split screen again if we can, where we've got two windows at the same time, Josh. So there's a look at the warning. Man, those clouds are very ominous. Boonville, I would be taking your tornado precautions and fast with this storm. Because anywhere along there, look at how low those clouds are. At any time, we could be seeing a power flash explode in this area with this extreme lowering as it's moving in. Look at that. Man, that's incredible. Very intense storm. Okay, so I know this is the bigger view. I want to switch the view. In the meantime, just for the meantime, I want to take radar and we're going to put it in the big window, and we're going to put the Mount Magazine WeatherBug Network camera in the smaller window. So tornado confirmed. This warning came out just a few minutes ago, 7:45. That's the observed tornado that was reported just to the northeast of Greenwood and northeast of Highway 71. And there you see that area. I could hear the rain coming down too in northwest Arkansas, so it's starting to increase in intensity. Remember our WeatherBug Network camera, Mount Magazine, and we're looking to the west here, and we're looking at this area of perhaps, let's see if we've got a little bit of circulation. So it's looking like maybe a little bit more of a wind surge, but it could be strong enough winds that could knock power out for sure, no doubt about that. If we look at I want to look at this real quick. We're going to look at the debris signature. Let's see if we see any type of debris. On this, you can't really see. It's not as clear of a picture, and that's exactly why we've got Mega Doppler. Mega Doppler will be able to pinpoint those locations. And so maybe kind of gusting out a little bit, Josh.
It does
what do you
look
think?
like it's becoming a little more outflow dominant.
Outflow dominant. But at the same time, outflow dominant can still bring some strong winds.
But that's very strong winds. I mean, that looks very powerful on radar.
Yeah, you can see those are like, we're talking 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. So very soon we're going to see the city lights of Boonville disappear. Not because, they were knocked out with power, unless it just happens to disappear immediately, but the clouds will start rolling in and the storm will be obscured. I want to bring that camera up full again because that did look a little bit ominous, where you saw some flashes that are ongoing, very low to the ground, very low cloud base as well. Kind of losing focus in and out, and rightfully so. I mean, look at what's focusing on. Basically nothing, and then all of a sudden a flash of light, which is the lightning. Highly electrified storms, tornadic storms typically do this, where they have a lot of lightning with them. It shows you a very intense storm.
Positive bolts.
Yeah.
Yep. Cloud to ground.
Yeah, that is a good question. Let's check that out. Let's go to our a lightning, negative and positive. And so before we, oh my goodness,
I've
look
got
at
that pulled up on weather.
Yeah.
Yep.
On weather 2, you can see the amount of lightning.
The lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. There's the tornado warning, goes until 7:45. We have a confirmed tornado for Sebastian County. I don't know if it's on the ground anymore. We do want to look, and by the way, in the meantime, Josh, you can, behind the scenes, look at Mega Doppler and see if you see any type of TDS or see any type of tornado detection signal. But here comes the storm moving towards Boonville. We're going to continue to watch this. Tornado warned storms. So, folks, we're approaching 7:21, and it's in the evening. I know we're covering up programming right now. We have a lot of storms that are multiple tornado warnings, and not just radar indicated, but confirmed tornadoes. So we cannot let our guard down, and this is within our weather coverage area. And so Huntsville, storms coming through Huntsville right now. And let's take a look at our Weather Bug Network camera from Huntsville. So we definitely want to do that. Stand by.
Just a reminder, we still have that tornado warning, observed tornado over the Huntsville area right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're focused on that. We're focused on another one. Look at this camera. Check this out. If we go to weather, weather 2, this brings it up full.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these winds are cranking.
Cranking up.
And good news is it doesn't look like power has been knocked out, but wow, that's a lot of lightning. And this is that warning that had confirmed tornado earlier. Don't know if it's on the ground anymore, but definitely a significant storm. And so we've got the camera pulled up. You're probably wondering exactly where this is and on the radar. And so while we have Weather 2 pulled up with our WeatherBug Network camera, I want to do Weather 1 and show that as well. Okay, so we're going to zoom out. We're moving. I'm kind of moving the. Uh-oh, that looked a little ominous. Let's see what we got here.
Over there. Tremendous amount of lightning.
Tremendous amount. We're moving northeast now because the storm's already past our WeatherBug Network camera. But I don't see any power going out, so that's good news.
And by the way, that tornado warning that was over Huntsville has been allowed to expire.
Oh, thankfully. Okay,
So,
good deal. Still a nasty storm, though.
Yes, still a severe thunderstorm warning, though. National Weather Service has allowed that tornado warning that is in Franklin and Sebastian County to continue until 7:45 p.m. Still not confirmed, though, at this time.
Yeah, so here's the deal, guys. We got a lot of storms. We got a lot of significant weather. We got multiple tornado warnings, and we're covering them on air and online, KNWA.com, on Facebook Live as well. And Anna, I know we're getting more reports of outages as the information continues to come in. So what's the latest now?
Yeah, I've been, I have a very handy website pulled up right now. It's called poweroutage.us. And so I've been using that to kind of watch as these power outages continue to come in. And let's see if I can pull up here. Sebastian County currently has 194 power outages. Franklin County currently has none, but that could change as these storms continue to roll in over the next few hours. let's see. Crawford County currently has 132 power outages right now. Washington County is up to 453. We were at 424 just 10, 15 minutes ago. So more power outages coming here in Washington County. In Madison County right now says 0. I mean, we have these storms coming in through Huntsville right now. So maybe that number is not updated correctly right now. But currently this website says no power outages in Madison County. Benton County currently has 74. Carroll County currently also does not have any power outages, according to poweroutage.us, a very handy website we've been using to track these power outages, of course, as these storms roll through. And as Dan mentioned, if for any of these people who do have power outages right now, you can't watch us on TV, we're on our website, we're on Facebook Live. You can also go to our app. We have all of this web coverage, all of our, we're posting to our web story, or to our website. We have this stream on our app, so definitely use these avenues if you were one of those people who loses power and needs to be informed about what's happening.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. I appreciate that. You know, those outages are representative of how the warnings, you know, these tornadoes that are touching down, they're in fairly rural areas. So, but we'll continue to get more and more information. The storms are still ongoing. And so now getting really, really close to our WeatherBug Network camera at Mount Magazine. But let's do a wide view. There's so many warnings, folks, that we would literally have to zoom out all the way. And so first of all, some nasty storms in Texarkana. You can see the considerable tornado warning tags. We also have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued, and we also have flash flood warnings. In fact, every one of these storms is producing really, really heavy rain. And so we've got flash flood warnings. Let's take you through all of these warnings real quick after we give you the wide view. So flash flood warning for Benton, Carroll, Washington, and Madison County. That goes until 12:15. So these creeks and streams are going to rise fast. But the heaviest rain is going to be within the storms. So severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45. That is for Madison County. We work our way east. Newton County, Boone County, you haven't seen much at all. Be ready. This storm's coming your way, especially over the next half hour, maybe even less. A new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued, as you can see, that's located right here for Carroll, Franklin, Madison County. That goes until 7:45. That was issued not too long ago. Now you can see the city lights of, so is that the WeatherBug Network? Oh, okay. Let's go back to Huntsville. Power's out now. We used to have lights, and the lights are gone. And so people have been mentioning that their houses have been shaking, their power has been flickering. And so if we bring that up full, there used to be lights off in the distance, and now there's not.
And there's a ton of people on Facebook Live
Look at that.
talking about their powers out in Huntsville.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's power flashes. That was a power flash. I think we got a circulation that's redeveloping again. Yeah. So that looked that looked a lot like a power flash off in the distance. So that's lightning. But power flashes last just a fraction of a second longer and is focused over a very small area. And I do believe that even though that looked a lot like lightning, I think that was a power flash. And well, rightfully so. Look at the power that's going on. Now, that's lightning. There's a difference between the two. Whenever it kind of multiply flickers, that's not the power transformer exploding. But remember all the lights that we had here? They're all gone. They're all out. So that shows you there's definitely quite a few power outages. And Anna, let me know when we get Madison County up, because this will be a lot more than just a few tens and hundreds without power. So that's Madison County. Oddly enough, though, our WeatherBug Network camera, thankfully, still working. So where's this storm headed? We got to track this, Josh, and continue to watch this. So where is this storm headed? There's the latest severe thunderstorm warning, probably creating strong enough winds. I'm not saying that power outage was a result of a tornado. I'm just saying it's wind damage that's causing power outages. So let's go back to our radar source on Mega Doppler, because we want to get a good look at that storm on Mega Doppler. And so there it is, circulation that's showing up northeast of Huntsville, and that's exactly where we were looking. That's where that power flash would be. How about the tornado detection signature? Anything showing up on that?
Don't see anything.
You got to move it a little bit. No, you got it within view. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't see anything there at this time.
Go back in time a little bit. Let's see if this ramped up. Still showing up, but I'm telling you, these QLCS tornadoes, they're not easy to spot. They're just not. So let's go back again. There's that circulation that was popping up. That's when it was confirmed. And so then it moved northeast. You might want to put on NWS Chad that power has been knocked out, and you can see on our weather camera that lights are out. So let's continue northeast. Move it along. This is past radar imagery. There's the circulation ramping up. That was right when it was coming through. So we switched the WeatherBug Network camera to Huntsville, and we spun it around before the power went out. So definitely an issue. All right. We got to go to current time. It looks like the tornado warning has been dropped for that storm, thankfully. But still, strong enough wind damage. And we want to do a storm track on that. I want to go back to our Mega Doppler source, bring that up. So, yeah, we could drop off the WeatherBug Network camera now, Mount Magazine. All right, so let's go back to Mega Doppler here. We'll take a look at this. We'll zoom out a little bit. So many storms going on, but we're trying to track them all. So Osage, Berryville, Swain, Salis, Jasper, you're going to be getting this storm as it comes your way. And remember, it has the potential to produce wind damage and maybe even a brief tornado, especially on the north edge of that line. That's where you have what would be called a bookend vortice. Ooh, man. Okay, back to our Mount Magazine WeatherBug Network camera. We need to see that as well. So let's go back to that circulation. There is just so much happening there. So much with the storm. Back circulation. You got the RFD that's wrapping around into the forward flank, it looks like. I mean, just some crazy physics that are going on. All right, let's bring up the Prod PC, and we'll bring up our WeatherBug Network camera. And so it's not out. The lights look like they've been out, but it could be we're just socked in with clouds. So let's see if we get any type of visibility. Okay, so it appears Huntsville has been knocked out with power as we showed you. Anna, just go ahead and just give us that report on the amount of people without power in Huntsville.
Yeah, I have the Carroll Electric map pulled up right now, and currently 956 people without power in Madison County, 42 in Benton County, and it looks like they have some other areas that are outside of our coverage area. But yeah, almost 1,000 people without coverage right now in Huntsville, which, that just happened so quickly.
That number is going to be going up too. Yeah, that's just the initial stages, most likely more. But thank you so much for that, Anna. I really appreciate that report. Again, we're just looking at a black screen. I just want to see if there's any type of lightning, any type of visual on anything with this storm. So we know the camera's not down because you can see flickers of lightning. But it does appear that this storm is kind of gusting out a little bit. And in fact, hopefully the tornado warnings get dropped here shortly. So we can return you back to program, and we'll still cover these storms on Facebook Live just a little bit. But we're continuing to monitor these storms as they move in. And so thankfully, the other storms that are more significant. So, Josh, let's do a little Mega Doppler tour, if we will. And we'll take a look on weather 2. We'll bring up the reflectivity because we got the velocity image, but it's just a little bit elongated. I don't see anything super menacing in terms of going to produce a tornado right this second. We got the severe thunderstorm warnings that are happening, but notice the I-49 corridor. So my son and my daughter going to a church retreat, and we told them not to leave until 9 o'clock. It looks like that was a great call. The storms won't be impacting the air. They're all moving east of the I-49 corridor. Let's pan up just a little bit more, and we'll get into Benton and Washington County. So there's a look at the lighter to moderate rain that's falling, but the heaviest rain now on the leading edge of this line as it's moving through. Couple areas, though, to watch. We can't let our guard down on your rural and Green Forest as that storm moves to the northeast and moving into Carroll County. The warning does include southern Carroll County, but other areas, too, that are starting to spin up. The atmosphere is just ripe for spinning. I mean, just the ingredients are there. So we'll have to see if that does, in fact, increase in circulation. All right, let's go back to that reflectivity image. Let's pan up a little bit more to the north, and we'll go a little bit farther west, too. I want to see when the clearing line is going to take place. So you can see some light to moderate rain over Gravette. Any type of circulation with that? I mean, even showers are spinning at this point. Thankfully, no.
Nothing at this
That's
time.
not. Okay. So we'll zoom out just a little bit more, go back to that reflectivity image. There's the leading edge of the back edge, or should I say, not the leading edge, but the back edge of the rain that's about to move out. So it looks like, for the most part, if you're concerned about storms in northwest Arkansas, everything's starting to wind down. But there is an example in Huntsville where, hey, the storm came in and really started to ramp up. Any information from NWS Chad, from the Weather Service on this cell, how it looks like it's gusting out? And you would have to go to Little Rocks.
Yes, well, Tulsa did say that they're going to continue their tornado warning. They just now sent this for Franklin and Sebastian County until 7:45 p.m. Still not observed tornado in that one, Dan, but they're going to continue it at least until 7:45.
Okay.
As we go to Little Rock here, tornado warning is going to continue as well for Logan County until 7:45 p.m. They did cancel the tornado warning for Scott County just a few moments ago.
Yeah, that's a little bit south of the actual warning area, so that's good news. Okay, so we're starting to get towards the end of our severe weather event, but we know that the damage has occurred. We know there's been power outages. We know there was a strong tornado that formed in southern Lafleur County, and thankfully these storms, they're still intense, but they're not going to be moving into our area, at least as of now. Now, eastern Scott County, later on in about an hour and a half, that could be an issue as it moves back into eastern Scott County and eastern Logan County. But at the moment, those cells are going to be a little south of us. So
very strong winds, though. Those
very strong
very,
winds.
very strong winds.
Can't downplay that by any means, right? Let's pan down just a little bit more, and I want to show, because we do have some friends in MENA. In fact, Chris Ebert, who is one of our engineers. Oh, look at that circulation that's approaching
strong.
Wicks. So this is in towards the Polk County area, south of MENA. This area of circulation moving in, and you can see that considerable tornado potential, and then it's confirmed as well. So let's look at the tornado debris signature. Is there anything on that? And I know this is, okay, we got a new warning. Unfortunately, it was just issued.
Okay.
We'll look at that here in just a second. So
that tornado warning that was just issued is for Franklin County until 8:30 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 3 miles southeast of Charleston. That's that area that we were watching just a moment ago, that really bright colors.
Bright colors, could tighten up, could spin up. This is the Weather Service out of Tulsa that issues this until 8:30. So that's going another hour. So we'll continue to track these storms and watch them. Now, if the storm looks like it's weakening significantly and the tornado warning's still in effect, we'll drop off of it and we'll go on Facebook Live. But keep in mind, we'll continue to update you on our stream, and we'll pop back on if, in fact, it does become threatening.